Here at FingerLakes1.com, we've been designing great websites for over 10 years for businesses and organizations of all sizes. In this short video, I'm going to take you through some of the things you need to consider if you're planning a new website development project and what you can expect if you're doing business with us. There are three components to every website. The first is the domain name. That's your .com or your .net or your .org. Now these names are registered and only one person in the world can have them. So if you register your company name .com, certain combination of characters and numbers, nobody else in the world can have that same combination of characters other than you. So you'll renew that on an annual basis, and that's usually done through an accredited registrar. And we'll handle that for you here at Finger Lakes One. The second thing is hosting service. Now you have a website developed, it needs to be made available on the internet. So that is called hosting, the act of having your website files and database files on a server connected to the internet so that can be served when people call up your website. Now we also provide hosting service here in our brand new data center here in our office. The third thing is the actual development of the website, and that's what I'm going to kind of delve into coming up here. So let's say you need a website developed, or you have an existing website you're not happy with and you'd like to see redesigned. You give us a call or send us an email, and that's going to initiate a conversation where we're going to try to learn a little bit about your business and about your needs and requirements, so that we can offer you a preliminary quote so you have some idea about how much this might cost. Once the quote's accepted, we'll schedule a kickoff meeting. Now this is a little more intense of a process of getting to learn about what makes your business special and how a website can help your business. After the kickoff meeting, we'll be able to supply you with a sitemap, which will basically be an outline of the content and features of your website, and then we'll get to work on a design concept. Now what a design concept is a snapshot of what your website will look like when it's done, so you can actually see it and say, geez, that looks perfect. Or maybe you'll say, I like that, but I wish that shade of color was different. Or I wonder what it would look like if the navigation was on the side instead of the top. Or if this picture was a little bigger, or if our logo was a little bigger. But these design decisions and elements of the project will be worked out through the design concept stage. So after issuing the concept, we'll get your feedback, maybe issue a revision or a series of revisions, and in some cases for bigger projects we'll issue multiple design concepts right off the start. Eventually you approve the design concept, and that means we're ready to begin hardcore development of the site. Now at this point we're going to be building applications that will power your website. We're going to be formatting content and integrating content into the design, and we're going to work with you to figure out what content you need to provide to us, what content we can create, if we need to send out photographers to take a photo, or if we're going to produce video, and basically actually produce a website. And during this development process, you'll also be able to follow us, as we'll have you set up on our development server that you can access, so you can actually look at your website at certain points throughout the process. And ultimately, you'll be able to review the website in its completed form before we decide to launch. At that point, we'll be able to make edits based on your feedback. You'll be able to share the website with your employees or family or friends and kind of get some of their feedback. But eventually, we're going to get to the point where we say this project's done and we're ready to get it online. Which brings us to the site launch. Now the site launch is an exciting time. Your site is going live. People are going to be able to access it, and hopefully it's going to start working for your business the way we planned. Now at Finger Lakes One, we host a website that gets 14,000 visits a day from residents here in the Finger Lakes region. So with all our new sites that go online, we do a site launch feature, which basically a little promo for your site saying, here's a new site to the internet, check it out. And that'll get you some initial traffic. And at that point too, we then begin maintenance of the website. Now post-launch is not the end of our relationship. It's just the beginning of what I hope will be a long partnership where your staff and our staff work together to make sure your website is properly maintained. whether it's support on applications on your website or email support or updates. Obviously very important to keep your website updated, and then we're always here when things come down the pike. For example, several years ago nobody knew what Facebook or Twitter was because they didn't exist. Well, we've had customers from 8, 9, 10 years ago who website has changed a lot over time, and we'll integrate stuff like Facebook and Twitter, stuff they didn't even think about when we were designing their website. So the idea is that the website development project is the beginning, but your website's never really complete. It's something that always evolves, and we try to make maintenance of your website something that's affordable, and we like to give you options too. Our content management systems built into many of our customer websites give them the ability to update their own websites, and for other customers they like to just email us updates and we make them. We figure out what works best for you and your organization, and ultimately what's going to make your website the best it can be. One question we get asked a lot, obviously, is how much is this going to cost? Now, we pride ourselves at Finger Lakes One at providing tremendous value to our customers. We like to think that the website we produce for you will cost you less than it would be if you went to another firm. Now, sometimes we can't compete with freelancers out there, but again, with freelancers and individuals who have, it might be somebody's nephew knows how to design a website. Well, you're at your own risk there. That individual could, move or change careers, and you're kind of left on your own. So we like to think of established companies, which there aren't that many around, especially they've been around for 10 years like us, but we like to give you the best value. And website development from the smallest sites that will range, around $400 to develop, right on up to corporate sites that cost several $1,000s. The cost of your website's gonna depend on the detail and high-end quality of the design itself. It's going to depend on how much content there is to integrate. In other words, is there going to be 5 pictures on this website? Is there going to be 500 pictures? Is there going to be 5 paragraphs worth of text, or is there going to be an encyclopedia worth of text? Are we going to produce videos? Are we writing the text or taking the pictures, or are you providing them to us? All these things affect the cost. And another thing that will affect the cost is applications that you need to develop. Content management systems and the extent that you need them installed, shopping carts, calendar of events. These type of applications will make your website dynamic, and they'll also affect the cost of a project. But generally, most of our small business type websites will fall in that $400 to $2,000 range, which is pretty affordable for something that's as important to your business as your website. So let's get started. You can give us a call at 315-712-0104 or shoot us an email at contact@fingerlakes1.com and visit us online at http://services.fingerlakes1.com. We can't wait to build you your next website.